Okay, so let's look at circumference of a circle. So we know circumference is the distance around the outside of a circle, so the perimeter of a circle. And there are two formulas that we can use to access this depending on which bit of information we get told. So typically we get told either the radius, so the distance from the center of the circle to an edge with a straight line, or we get told the diameter, which is the distance of a straight line from edge to edge that passes through the middle. What we know is that the diameter is double the radius and that the radius is half the diameter. And these are the two rules that we can use for finding the circumference, and they are 2 pi r and pi d. And so these two rules are equal to one another, okay? Because if you think about it logically, 2 times r, so twice the radius, will give you the d diameter. So in that essence, they're the same. All right, so let's work through two questions that are going to make use of these rules. One of the things you'll need to do this is to have your calculator, okay? So here we're using our Casio calculator, and you can see down the bottom here, this button here, just above it is a symbol for our pi, and we access by going shift and pressing that, and that gives us pi on our screen. I can't get a good shot of that. Okay. So we need to make sure we've got our calculator and we know how to access pi. So let's have a look at this one here where we're given, for example, the radius is 3 meters. Okay, so first thing, we're going to use 2 pi r. Okay, so now we want to access this equation by going 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius 3. Okay, so this is going to give us obviously 6 times pi equals. Now on our calculator we're going to work out that, so we're going to go 6 multiplied by, and we go shift and our button here to give us 6 times and equals. Now with pi, because it's an irrational number, we're always going to end up with this really long decimal. So what we want to do typically is read the question to see what we want to round it off to. In this case, it's 2 decimal places. So we are given this as an answer. And I'll just write a few extra decimal places here. Right, and we're rounding this off to 2 decimal places, so 18.84, and the next number is a 9, so this 4 becomes a 5, so this rounds off to 18.85 as our rounded off answer for that one. Okay, so that's using 2 pi r. Let's have a look at a question where we're going to be using just d, okay? So let's assume the diameter is 9 centimeters. Okay, so into our equation, pi times 9, and it's the same process on our calculator. Pi times by 9 equals, and we get 28.2743. Okay, and again, we want to round it to do 2 decimal places. So 28.27, the next number is a 4, so we can keep it the same. So it's 28.27. Okay, now we can also check that the number's roughly the right size, because we know pi is approximately 3.14. Okay, once we sort of round it to 2 decimal places. So it's roughly 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27, and 28.27 is pretty close to 27.